Good morning. Welcome to the weekend edition of Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
I'm Lindsey Deluce.
And I'm Matt Scooby. Thanks for tuning in.
Coming up shortly, we are talking about how our personal beliefs around money really shape our financial wealth and what we can do to make changes in order to make better financial decisions.
We'll also be joined by Dan Riskin to find out if one of Saturn's moons may be suitable for life.
Interesting. We also have finance, we have space, and we've got a groundbreaking health story. I spoke with the lead surgeon here in Toronto who performed a first-of-its-kind heart transplant using a heart that had stopped beating. It is a cutting-edge procedure, and it could mean shorter wait times for those who desperately need transplants. Here's that conversation. Canada's first cardiac transplant using a heart that stopped beating was successfully performed in Toronto. With the help of cutting-edge heart-in-a-box technology, surgeons at the Peter Munk Cardiac Centre were able to reanimate a heart for the purpose of a transplant. Dr. Ali Rabi is the cardiac surgeon who led this procedure. He is our guest this morning. Welcome to the show. Congratulations on the procedure. First question to you this morning is, how is the patient doing?
Doing well. He's recovering very well.
What makes the procedure that you performed different from typical heart transplants that have been performed in the past?
Great. So there is a distinction between the type of donors that we can accept the hearts. And so the first thing we should understand is that there are a lot of people who are waiting for new hearts, and we simply just don't have enough hearts to give them. And using the traditional technique, we are only limited to donors that are considered brain dead. So these are donors who have no blood supply to the head, and basically they have no neurological function, absolutely none.
Talk to us about the heart-in-a-box technology and how it's revolutionizing this transplant process, what it means for future procedures.
Sure. The heart-in-a-box technology is a technology that allows you to reanimate organs, including heart, outside of the body, and be able to evaluate them and see if they're appropriate for transplantation. In this case, actually, we didn't use the heart-in-a-box in this case. This was brought in using a special box that keeps the organ at a certain temperature, and we found that that temperature is actually protective of the hearts. But the heart-in-a-box allows us to go longer distances and hopefully not be limited to geographical areas that we're currently limited. And currently, we are only limited to the Greater Toronto area for our donors as far as how far we can go. But I'm hoping that with having the access to the full effect of the ex vivo technology, we can actually go everywhere in Ontario and hopefully beyond.
It seems like this could be the start of a new era for organ donation. What could it mean for people, that you mentioned that are stuck on wait lists?
Yeah, so we expect to have an increase in the number of transplants using donors with circulatory death, which is this type of donors. We expect about 20 to 40% increase in the number of transplants that we can do. We expect a shorter wait list, and we expect less people to die waiting for hearts to become available for them. So dramatic impact in the number of transplants and the quality of life of the people who are waiting on transplants. And hopefully we'll be able to reach more people who have heart failure and put them on the waiting list and get them these hearts that they desperately need.
We know that it is not just about the transplant moment, but there's an incredible amount of planning and research that goes into something like this, like a Canadian first. Talk to me about your involvement in that and how you were feeling on the other side of it, from planning to procedure to now.
Well, I'm very humbled to be the person sitting in front of the camera and talking to you, but I have to say there is a whole set of people that stand in the background, and they are the driving force behind it, both in terms of their scientific input, in terms of their actually work ethics and their coordination efforts. These people are my cardiology colleagues, intensivists, nurses, perfusion specialists, other surgeons who help with the case. And I have to say, no transplant, no organ transplant is going to happen without the help of the donors and the donor's family. When we make a phone call to one of our recipients that we have a heart available for them, that's the happiest day of their life. But the donors and the donor's family, that's one of the saddest day of their lives. They know that they have to say goodbye to their loved ones, yet they give us the gift of donation, the gift of heart. And they allow us ample time to actually evaluate this heart during the saddest and the worst day of their life. So I think a huge thank goes to the donors and the time that they are giving us, in addition to the organization in Ontario called Trillium Gift of Life that actually makes sure that this donation happens smoothly and the donors and their wishes are respected with dignity and honor.
Dr. Robbie, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and congratulations again.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Coming up, a closer look at new evidence that suggests life may be possible on one of Saturn's many moons.
Well, scientists have uncovered new evidence suggesting life may be possible on one of Saturn's many moons. Data collected from NASA has found new types of organics sprouting from one of the moons. There's lots of them, so it's just on one of them. Anyway, Canadian researchers have also discovered a new antibiotic that treats Crohn's disease using AI. So for a closer look at these latest discoveries, I am joined by CTV science and technology specialist Dan Riskin. Great to have you.
Great to be here. Lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about. I'm going to leave the name of the satellite and the moon to you.
Oh, sure. Cassini is the satellite.
There you go.
But the moon is Enceladus.
Okay.
It's fun to say, and it's one of the like, if you had to pick a place in our solar system that might have life that isn't here, you wouldn't pick Mars. You would pick this moon, Enceladus. It is an exciting place. It is a frozen shell of ice with liquid water underneath.
Okay.
And that liquid water underneath is heated by geothermal, I guess it's not geothermal, but by thermal vents that keep it liquid. So you've got this pool of ocean water that has more water in it than all the oceans on Earth combined. Is there life down there? We don't know.
Maybe.
So let's find out. So Cassini was a spacecraft that was orbiting around Saturn for a long time, and as part of that, it went past Enceladus and collected sort of sniffs of the air as it went by. Now you're in space, so there's no air, but Cassini sprouts up water that comes out of cracks near the South Pole, and it sprays up into the space, the air, whatever you want to call it. And so as the spacecraft was going through, it collected some of these molecules, and the data from those sensors has been reanalyzed, and they've found evidence of some new molecules they didn't see last time. And these are organic molecules. Now, organic doesn't mean it came from something alive. It just means it has carbon in it, but it could be related to possible life under the ice. So very exciting.
Well, we know carbon, building block of life.
Yes.
So two questions. One, do we know if life is there? Maybe, maybe not. But are we wanting to live on it? Is that why we're doing this?
So great questions. First one, we have not found evidence of life, but we've found evidence that is conducive to life. So we haven't disproven it, but we want to go back and we want to get a better look. In terms of what we do with that information, really at this stage, it's a question of, are we unique on Earth? Is there life out there? And if there is life in our solar system somewhere else, we'd sure like to know about it and what it looks like. And did it evolve the same way it evolved here? All those fun questions. So this wouldn't really be a great place to spend your summers, but it's definitely a good place to learn about if you want to understand where we came from.
It blows my mind because when I think life, I think planets.
Yeah.
I don't think moons.
Right, I know.
Right.
But it's... Yeah, a planet just means it's going around the sun. This is it's like a planet. It's just going around a bigger planet, which itself is going around the sun.
Well, and there are 274 moons that go around
Saturn.
Saturn.
They just found a whole bunch of new ones, and some of them are like little things the size of this table. I mean, some of them shouldn't count, but they do. But yes, it's got a lot of different moons. But Enceladus has always been that one that everybody's been like, ooh, look at that. I mean, Jupiter has a couple like this as well, where there's water under the surface. And you just, if you were gonna make the perfect recipe for life to show up, that's what it looks like. And so we just want to build the good spacecrafts and go there and find out.
Okay, so from looking for life in outer space to improving life here on Earth.
Oh, nice turn.
Thank you.
You're good at this.
Thanks.
Okay.
I want to turn to this new antibiotic. It's targeting Crohn's disease.
Yeah.
So what does this treatment have that others don't?
So this is a new antibiotic that was created with AI. You know, we've talked about AI, and everybody knows AI is great for now. You can make videos of cats that don't exist. It can be done to... You can waste time with AI, but you can also use it to do amazing things. And so researchers are using AI to try to understand molecules and to build new antibiotics. Right now, if you get sick, you take antibiotics that basically nuke everything in your gut, right? They get rid of the good stuff, the bad stuff, it kills everything. It'd be nice to have a targeted thing that's like, I have a certain bacteria that's bad, and so we want to build an antibiotic that just goes after that one kind of bacteria. And it's very hard for humans to invent that stuff, but AI can come up with suggestions of what those molecules might look like. And this new drug that's from McMaster University with collaborations from MIT and in the States is a new kind of antibiotic built with instructions from AI that can target the bacteria that are causing problems without nuking everybody else. So it's just like a step in a giant new direction.
Whenever we talk about AI being involved in discoveries like this, I always wonder, like, would we have gotten there eventually and AI is just able to speed this up?
Yeah, but like in thousands of years.
Okay.
I mean, it's crazy. AI's ability to sort of see patterns is very exciting. At this stage, AI sort of says, here's what it looks like. But doctors know about hallucinations too, right? So it's not like they say, oh, the AI said this will work, and then they make the drug and they go to bed at night. They say, oh, nice hypothesis. Let's test it. So the humans still have to do all the legwork to make sure it works, but it really speeds things up because they have that initial guess that turned out in this case to be right.
I love that. Dan, thank you. This is very exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's talk money and books and your finances. But instead of starting with budgets and investments, let's talk about how you feel about money and how that impacts your bank accounts, your emotional connection to it. In her book, Cleopatra's Riches, certified financial planner Martha Adams explores how our upbringings, our relationships, and our emotions can really shape the way we spend money. Right? The way we spend money. She joins us now to tell us all about it. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about, in your book, you say money is a human experience before a financial one. What do you mean by that?
So money conversations generally start with the budgets, the charts, right? That financial advice, and yet where are you in that? Because money really is a human experience far before it was ever a financial one. So that's why I start with you and your story rather than your balance sheet. And our human experience with money formed emotional associations for us with words like making money, spending it, maybe saving it. They have emotional associations like guilt, shame for some of us, even regret. And so without the space to work through those emotions, we can really easily repeat the same cycle no matter how good a financial plan is on paper.
So where did these associations come from?
So they came from our story. It came from our parents, our parents' parents.
Wait, let's stop for a second.
Yeah.
You have a pyramid.
I do.
To explain what you're going to talk about, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so walk us through.
So this is in the book, and I walk through it step by step. We see messaging that came from our parents, what they said, maybe what they didn't say, messaging passed down from their parents to them. Even in our classrooms, comparison there, what society views as success, and then past relationships. All of these form our kind of hidden belief systems around money. And then when we have money conversations, especially in current relationships, those beliefs can often collide. And that's when money becomes a conversation that isn't about numbers, but it's about our emotions instead.
Absolutely. I think we've all been in those conversations. So walk us through. So how does this work with the other points of this pyramid?
Yeah, so we really want to be able to shift from making money, spending it, and maybe saving it to instead my earn, grow, and enjoy model. And we do that with my 4R process that I share in the book. And so this is where we can move from emotional awareness to emotional regulation, because you'll start to recognize the emotion that you have behind your money thoughts, and then you can reconcile that with your perspective of where that emotion was originating. And now you can look forward to release that emotional charge with gratitude for what you've learned. And then finally, you can repeat your new positive emotional association. And that's what's going to allow you to move to earning, growing, and enjoying with meaning, value, and purpose.
Because I think a lot of people may listen to this and go, okay, well, wait a second. Like, this seems a little out there, you know, in terms of, I just need to know, like, how I'm going to make more money. But you're saying it's the process here, once you reconnect with that, that will get you to that place you want to go?
That's exactly right. Because to achieve what you want, to have that long-lasting success, it must represent you. A lot of times, especially when you talk about making money, we can really easily be lost in someone else's vision.
Right.
And so it's so important to be connected with what your view of success is. What's the meaning behind the money that you're earning? What's the value to what you want to grow? And what's the purpose to what you want to enjoy. That's what makes you the MVP of your financial life.
Amazing. Well, thank you for walking us through not only the pyramid, but a little bit of your book and the 4 R's. Cleopatra's Riches is available now wherever you get your books. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you. Up next, the challenges that come with being neurodivergent in the workplace and how companies can better support employees.
Around 600,000 Canadians identify as neurodivergent, and this can include autism, ADHD, or dyslexia. And many of them are having a hard time at work trying to keep up with tasks and workflows that do not support the way that their brain functions. So here to tell us more about this is Vaishali Joshi, who is a corporate wellness strategist. Welcome to your morning.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Big topic. We're going to take a little piece of it this morning. Being neurodivergent can look different for everybody, but typically, how does it show up in the workplace?
So depending on what exactly that brain type is, whether you have ADHD, you have autism, you could be dyslexic, and there's a couple of others like Tourette's, you may appear in the workplace as overwhelmed. And overwhelmed often looks like being silent in meeting rooms or smiling and looking as if you understand everything that's going, even though your brain is wandering.
Yeah.
So those people will hesitate to ask questions because they might have missed out some of what's been going on. You'll often find that they're pulling long hours to do certain tasks that you and I might do differently.
Right.
And then that leads to burnout. So you might see someone who's doing something for long periods of time and is, feeling overworked.
There's a name for those behaviors. It's called masking. It's just one of the ways that people who are neurodivergent cope in the workplace. Can you give us some more examples of what that could look like and the toll that it takes on the person who's doing the masking?
Yes. So masking shows up in different places, in different ways. And, some people mask knowingly, knowing that they are on the spectrum, and some will mask unknowingly. I'm an example of someone who masked for years without knowing. And so when they're masking, they're doing things like nodding, smiling, saying everything's fine, because they don't want to alarm anybody about, hey, I don't have this under control. So that's a certain type of masking. Another way of masking is actually cleaning up your desk and making sure that it looks just like everybody else's. And so you just want to have other people perceive you to be as they are. And so they're incessantly behaving in ways that don't come naturally, which is a lot of pressure.
I was going to say, so then talk to me about the flip side of that. What does that do to the person who is constantly masking for up to 8 hours a day?
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of our mental health suffers. So you'll start to see anxiety, which then leads to depression, which they may mask again.
Yeah.
And it's this cycle that they're in.
Without knowing that somebody is experiencing this, that either they're neurodivergent or masking or experiencing the burnout that comes with that, what can companies or teams do to better support employees who are neurodivergent?
So there are 2 key parts that leaders and organizations can look at. One is communication, and the other is making sure that they accommodate, so flexibility, giving these 2 elements and accommodating people in both of those respects. So I'll say things like communication looks like after a meeting, making sure that the minutes are rendered in a way that that person is receptive to. So how would you like your minutes given to you? In what structure works for you? But giving them minutes thereafter, if they've tuned out or have been distracted during a meeting, helps them. That's one way. Another is time management tools. So things like, there are boards like Trello and Asthma, and those are technologies that are very flexible in the way that they record data and keep people organized. So those are tools that are really great for those people. So that's technology and communications. On the flip side, when you talk about flexibility, there's things like what schedule works for you.
Right.
Do you prefer to be remote or in person? When you're in the room, like what are you better in the mornings, in the afternoons? Just understanding what is that cycle that they are more distracted, less distracted in.
When you talk about communication, communication is a 2-way street. What is the responsibility on the person who is neurodivergent to communicate that to leaders or managers, that this is how I learn, perceive information, and then working with them to make sure they get what they need?
Yes. So right now, I would say is a really great time for all of us to actually become very, what I call neuro-inclusive. Is starting to have conversations, not just because you are neurodivergent, but because we all are either menopausal, there's a lot of us in the workforce like that, or we are of 5 different generations, so we think differently. So it's a good time for all of us to be in a room and not just call out, are you neurodivergent? But if you are on the spectrum a good conversation always is advocate for yourself and say, this is how I think, this is what I'm good at. I'm good at patterning or detail. I'm not good at this. And this way, your manager knows where the help is needed.
Well, then the manager can give you the information that you need to do the job well, which at the end of the day is the goal for everybody.
Yes.
Vishali, thank you so much for being here today. Fascinating topic.
Thank you.
Next week on Your Morning, Jillian Harris and her husband, Justin, on their brand new children's book.
Good morning, Canada. Welcome back to Your Morning Weekend. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
I'm Lindsey Deluce.
And I'm Matt Scooby. We have a lot of great conversations coming up this half hour.
We sure do, including my conversation with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City stars Meredith Marks and her son Brooks. You need to stick around for this conversation.
They were so different than I thought they were going to be.
Agreed.
It's fascinating. We also have Jully Black. She is back, joining us to discuss her father's breast cancer journey and the advocacy work that she's doing right now.
But first, a closer look at how inhalers are causing a significant carbon footprint and what can be done to address it.
Maybe you have one or use one or somebody you know does, but inhalers are one of the top frontline treatments for asthma. But they might also be a major contributor to global warming. A new study has found inhalers approved for asthma contributed to nearly 25 million metric tons of carbon dioxide. That's equivalent to emissions over the past decade. If you're wondering how much that is, that's about the same amount of emissions from driving 500,000 gas-powered cars in a year. So for a closer look at the carbon footprint of inhalers, I'm joined this morning by Dr. William Feldman. He's with Health Services researcher at the University of California, Los Angeles. He's also the lead author of this story. Good to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
How are inhalers contributing to climate pollution?
So inhalers contain propellants called hydrofluoroalkanes, some inhalers, and those propellants are potent greenhouse gases.
There are 3 different types of inhalers. There is the dry powdered inhaler, the soft mist inhaler, and the one that I'm most familiar with, at least it's the one we use in our house, that is the meter dose inhaler, sort of the L-shaped one. What are the most harmful to the environment?
So the meter dose inhalers are indeed the most commonly used in most countries, including the US, where we conducted our study. And only the meter dose inhalers contain these hydrofluoroalkane propellants. So dry powder and soft mist inhalers have much less of an environmental impact compared to meter dose inhalers.
How much of a risk does this pose to people who rely on them? You know, when you're trying to weigh out the effects on the climate versus the medical need for them?
You know, as a physician, I think the most important thing is that patients get the therapy that they need. And unfortunately, getting dry powder and soft mist inhalers in classes where they exist can often be difficult. And so I think, again, critical that everybody use the medications that their doctors prescribe. In thinking about these kind of long-term effects, it's unfortunate because some of these inhalers contribute to emissions that contribute to global warming, and the patients who may be most affected by global warming down the road are those with chronic respiratory disease. So I think it's something for us all to be very mindful of.
You were the lead author on this study. What do you propose to reduce the carbon footprint?
You know, there are some pretty straightforward solutions. Number one, we can get more prescribing of dry powder and soft mist inhalers that are already on the market. And number two, there are novel propellants that are currently being investigated that will be in inhalers that hit the market in the US soon and in other countries soon. And those could have a big effect on reducing the climate impact of inhalers.
Dr. William Feldman, great to have you on this morning. Thanks for joining us from California.
Thank you so much for having me.
It has been a huge year for Canadian R&B queen Jully Black, both professionally and personally. We all know she can light up a stage like nobody else. Those high energy performances have been amazing fans for decades. Offstage, the multi-talented artist is now a newlywed, tying the knot earlier this year, and she's also opening up about cancer awareness. She is sharing part of her family's personal journey. There's a lot to talk about and not a lot of time, so let's get to it. Jully Black is here. So good to see you.
You too.
When I said newlywed, all I heard off camera was
I know, I'm squeaking still.
Is that how you feel? Congratulations,
Yeah.
by the way.
Oh, thank you.
How was the wedding?
The wedding was fantastic. It was a total dream come true. Like, legit a dream come true.
What was the best part? Oh my gosh, you look stunning.
When I surprised him and I sang At Last a cappella. Nobody knew. I walked down the aisle and I sang.
Had you always planned to do that in your mind? You did?
Always. And he cried, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, I bet.
It was great. It was great.
And isn't the weddings are so great when it's your wedding? You've got all your favorite people in one spot. Like, when does that ever happen?
Never.
Never happens.
Yeah, they all paid buku money to come to Jamaica, so they love me.
I bet. It was like so good. I think a huge part of what draws people to you, obviously, is your personality. You're so electric, your willingness to open up, whether it's about, your private life or your professional life. You're so open.
Thank you.
And that includes, raising awareness when it comes to breast cancer. And this involves your dad. Your family story involves your dad.
Yes.
He was diagnosed with breast cancer when he was 76 years old.
Yes.
Now, before we get to his story, how is he doing today?
He's fantastic.
He's
10
doing
years
well?
later, he's doing well. He went for his driver's test recently. He's 86. He's
And?
like, everyone's failing. I keep passing. I'm like, I don't know if you should keep passing. I might want to pass you on the road.
That's another whole story,
the
right?
whole story. Well, he's fantastic.
Let's get to your dad's story.
Yeah.
So I understand your dad found a lump, but his doctor told him it was a cyst. How did he find out it wasn't just a cyst? What happened there?
Self-examination, the body keeps the score. He knew something was wrong.
Right.
He went into a walk-in clinic. And Dr. Humphrey, I'll never forget her name, she said, no, this is serious, and brought him for further testing. And over the weekend, and boom, he was in surgery on that Monday. Friday to Monday surgery.
Isn't it amazing?
Mastectomy, 5 lymph nodes
You're
removed.
kidding.
Yeah.
It was that fast.
That fast. He's
Hard to
in the
process.
1% of men.
Well, because I wanted to ask you about that because
Yeah.
we're talking about, your dad being diagnosed with breast cancer. Was that a huge shock to him?
Oh, to all of us.
To all of you?
You know, especially the older Jamaican man. It's like men have chests, women have breasts. You know what I mean? It's kind of this thing, right?
Right.
And but I'm so happy he was very adamant. My stepmom at the time, God rest her, she passed a year ago, but she was with him by his side, and my mom was around those days. It was a whole community.
Whole community,
Yeah.
and it takes a community, right? When
That's
you hear a
right.
diagnosis like that, how did your family cope with that diagnosis?
Well, action.
Yeah.
Advocacy for sure, and all of us making sure that we knew what was up with our own bodies as well. Going to those appointments with him, listening, being able to advocate, say, hey, he doesn't understand what this means. Could you explain a little further? Doing the research myself, yeah.
And also keeping a healthy mindset for all of you too.
Absolutely.
And what did you do to help that?
Oh my goodness, being present. My family was like, listen, our body might be going through something, but our spirit doesn't have it. My mom would be like, you know what? My body has cancer, I don't have cancer.
Right.
Like right now, my body has a sinus infection, I don't have a sinus infection. I'm here to talk about it, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And you had your own scare with breast cancer. What was that, back in your 20s? Walk us through what
27 years
happened.
old, yes, they found a lump, and again, it was, it's benign. They wouldn't give me a mammogram.
Well, that's what's so
You're
interesting.
too
right?
young for it. You're too young. No, everywhere. Dr. Shirley Ostroff, she's since retired. Dr. Wherever you are, Dr. Ostroff, I love you. Because she sent me down to Sunnybrook, and they put me through the cancer center, all the screenings for 5 years, every 6 months.
Yeah.
And
you're okay.
I'm okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's been a huge topic of conversation that we've had on this couch with many people that have come through and saying, they really had to advocate for themselves.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing it in younger and younger these days, that breast cancer diagnosis. What message do you have for people today?
Early detection. Don't let fear pin you down before you decide to get up.
Yeah.
Right? Fear could have us just take a little too long. And know that there's no shame around this. Just break this whole stigma thing. They don't even want, as far as women are concerned especially, so many women aren't even comfortable or aren't allowed to even breastfeed in public anymore. Like, let's get that self-screening. Let's make that normalized, and take whatever steps we need to take.
And one of those important conversations is happening here this morning on this couch. So
Yeah.
Jully Black, always good to see you. I'm so glad your dad is doing well.
Thank you.
And that he's driving.
He's driving.
He's probably really happy
and
about that.
Cashmere collection. Yes.
Oh.
I'm one of the ambassadors. And every time, when you go, choose your toilet paper wisely, okay? You're look for that ribbon, that pink ribbon.
That's right.
Right, every dollar, Cashmere will donate $1 up to $100,000.
Thank you for mentioning that as well.
Yeah,
Jully Black, always good to have you in studio. Thanks so
Thank
much for
you.
stopping by this
Thank
morning.
you.
So Wayward is a new thriller series about a utopian small town with a sinister school. It is created by Canadian Mae Martin, who stars in the project alongside Toni Collette and an amazing cast. I sat down with all of them at the Toronto International Film Festival about the new show.
In the hills and valleys, there is a place where your teenager can grow and thrive. My name is Evelyn Wade. I'm the lead youth counselor here at Tall Pines Academy.
I'm so thrilled that the three of you are here together. I was terrified to have to interview you separately, so I'm so glad you're here together.
Oh, great.
Mae, I'm going to start with you. Most of your fans, myself included, are familiar with you in comedy. So you are in this role that is sinister, is dark. Where did this idea of this dark and sinister role germinate from?
I don't really approach things thinking about genre and things. It was just subject matter that I've always wanted to get into. And to be honest, all of my work deals with adolescence in a way, but it's just been adult characters processing their adolescence. So I was excited to dive directly into that really visceral period of life, and this is the genre that I watch more than anything.
It's
so
fantastic.
Dyed my hair darker so people would take me seriously.
Well, it works. It works. It works.
Only 2 shades. Yeah, 2 shades. I know moving back to your hometown wasn't exactly our plan.
We deserve this for us and our baby.
Sarah, talk to us about Laura, your character, because on the surface, everything is great. You and Mae, so Alex and Laura are married. They've got this new baby coming and this new house and a new job, and you're going back home. But there's a lot of stuff sitting under the surface.
A lot of things going on there. Yeah, and I think that was kind of one of the things that I loved so much about Laura and about the relationship she has with Alex is that you kind of meet them in this utopian, wonderful place, but really the rest of the show, they're having this power struggle and they're withholding from each other subconsciously, consciously, and that kind of relationship dynamic was something I was really fascinated by.
When you went to the academy, how intense was it?
Evelyn likes to be involved.
Toni, you play Evelyn, who is this complicated, I feel like all your characters are these complicated women, but she is both comforting and then she's got this unsettling energy at the same time. Yeah. Tell me your description of her.
I found her very intimidating to figure out at first. I couldn't figure out the tone because of her complexity. At first, I think I did a couple of takes in my first scene where I was like an evil Marvel character or something, and I had to kind of figure out where to sit with it. But it really started to evolve quite naturally. The world is very, very grounded, and my character is like a self-appointed mayor of the town. She's incredibly controlling and manipulative, but yes, on the surface, she's there to help, she's there to please, she's here to help you grow, save you even. And then she's got weird, controlling, manipulative, underlying kind of issues of her own which can't help but come through because ultimately, when the truth is revealed, all masks drop, even hers.
Who would like to run their anger?
This place is bad, dude.
What did you learn working alongside people like Mae and Toni?
It was so incredible. I mean, every single day, just observing and getting to become friends with them, which is something I never thought that I'd be able to say. Yeah. Friends with Toni Collette, which is such a flex. But yeah, just getting to watch them and work alongside them and just seeing their work ethic and everything that they came to set. Just how incredible and professional and on it they always are, and solid. They're both so solid. And Mae is a genius, and Toni is as well.
Toni is Toni.
Yeah, Toni is Toni.
Toni
yeah.
Collette.
You work with this incredible cast. I was just talking
they're
to two of
incredible.
them
Aren't they
who
the
know
best?
your work ethic and call you genius and brilliant.
Hey. And they hated Sarah.
They did. I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up. But what did they ask of you? What did they want to learn from you? And then what did you learn from them?
Oh, I learned a lot from them. I mean, both of them, their work ethic is amazing, but they're so present. And I mean, like all young people sort of keep you present and engaged.
They were always so prepared and so in the moment and just alive, and that's what you look for. You look for someone who feels alive and it's just so honest in their performance.
You have two teens that are in this age group. Have they seen this?
Yeah, they'll love it. They'll love it.
Great.
Oh, I love how happy that's made you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on your morning.
Thank you so much. It was so great to meet you.
Congratulations to all three of you. It is a fascinating,
Good.
terrifying series.
Yay. Thank you.
Thanks.
I can't wait for you to meet the new you.
Coming up, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City stars Meredith and Brooks Marks.
It has been called the best of the Real Housewives, and now the ladies of Salt Lake City are back for big moments and even bigger drama. Take a look.
There's
things out there about bankruptcy and shoplifting.
You questioned every single thing I have!
Her star has risen since she joined the cast in the first season, by the way, and now Meredith Marks is sharing the spotlight with her son Brooks, who you can also find on your screens on Next Gen NYC. Meredith and Brooks Marks join us in studio. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Toronto.
Thank you
it's nice
so
to have you
much.
back.
We love it here.
Meredith, I want to ask you, when you think about the franchise of the Housewives, new cities are introduced, and we've seen them not do so well. Salt Lake City has done so well. What do you think it is about this group, this location that resonates with people?
I think the location is simple. I mean, it's gorgeous, and it's different than really where any other Housewives city is filmed, where you're only ski resort, and it's just, Utah's really very stunning. But the dynamics are what makes the show. We're all wired quite differently. We just sort of perceive the world in a very different way, and it causes a lot of chaos and drama and conflict, and hopefully a lot of resolution too, and hopefully learning new things by understanding how other people perceive things.
Speaking of dynamic, the dynamic between the two of you is just so lovely. We obviously love watching the two of you together. It must be so fun to work together. I know you've done it for a period of time now. I know, Brooks, you are on your own on a show without mom.
Yeah.
What have you learned from your mom about being on reality TV?
I feel like my mom's always taught me to be 110% authentic no matter what it is that I do, and that's definitely something that I've carried out through this reality TV journey.
I feel like those are the people that do so well. It's that authenticity chip, right? Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, and that really resonates with you, especially when we see the two of you and with your family. I have to know, though, because your family's so direct with each other and hilarious. Is that what it's like off camera as well?
Yeah, it's
Probably worse.
Really?
Yeah, we're very direct. I mean, that's how I am in life in general. I feel like it's much easier to just say what you think and feel directly to the person. Hopefully you can say it with some level of kindness.
Right.
But yeah, it's a lot easier that way.
And Meredith, I have to say, we're now at 3 episodes into season 6. You don't seem to be too involved in the drama so far. Do you prefer it that way, or are you more comfortable with sort of more conflict? What's your happy place?
I'm not. I deal with things that I need to deal with. I'm not like a pot stirrer. A lot of the women like to start the trouble and cause the trouble. I'll respond to what I need to deal with, but I'm not the one that's going to create the mess. That's just not my MO in life. I've got a lot of other things going on that are just way more important to me than creating conflict with friends. And that's, it's just not my thing. But I'll engage where I need to, and you'll see I definitely do get thrown into it. And I think that's why a lot of times they're always coming at me, because they know I'm not the one who's going to start it.
Right. Just respond.
So, yeah. Sometimes react, unfortunately, but yes.
Makes for good TV, doesn't it? Can we talk about your career as a DJ?
Yes.
Yeah. How did this get started?
It really came about because a couple of years ago at the GLAAD Awards, we were chatting with the founder of Out Loud Music Festival, who does West Hollywood Pride, and it started with us just kind of talking about me DJing specifically for Pride, and from there it's really snowballed into a whole.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's so fun.
And Brooks, was she always a music lover in the house?
Yeah, I mean, also, I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit. She'd pop into other DJ sets for like a few minutes.
Really?
Like over the years, and I think now she's fully just gone full force with it. I'm so proud of her. She's done an incredible job, and anyone who's been to her shows is able to attest to how fun they are.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And you must be so proud of him, too.
I'm beyond proud. I mean, Brooks is doing everything he wants to do. His new collection is coming out very soon. And, Next Gen has obviously been a massive success, so I could not be any more proud.
It's so exciting. Speaking of Next Gen, you did mention on the show that you want to become a young dad. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true.
Are you ready to be a grandmother?
Not today, but soon, yes. Give me a few years.
Do you know what your grandmother name would be? Like, my mom never wanted to go by Grandma or Grammy, so she is Boots, which used to be her nickname as a kid because she couldn't keep her boots on. So she went with Boots, and I know a lot of other people have, interesting names that they want as their grandparent name. You ever thought about it?
Well, my mom is Peachy,
Oh, that's my
which
sister's
is very
nickname,
cute.
too.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, that's
Peachy.
so funny because
Yeah.
that's not common.
No.
I don't know. I have to really think about
maybe
it.
you have some time.
Yeah, I think I have a little time. DJ?
That's cute. Oh, that's super cute. Well, thank you both for joining us today. Congratulations on the show and your new show as well. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us.
Yeah, great to meet you both.
What is the worst thing that could happen on a book tour? Well, that depends who you ask. Every author has a story or two of things going a little sideways, but probably not as bad as what happens in this next novel. Mona Awad is back with a new installment of her fan favorite, Bunny. It's called We Love You, Bunny, and it starts with an author who is drugged, kidnapped while on tour by a group of her classmates. And it turns out they're ticked off about how they've been portrayed in this new novel. Mona Awad is in the middle of her own book tour. She joins us here in studio. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Glad you've neither been drugged nor kidnapped. It's
Yes.
great to have you here.
So far.
So far.
Yeah.
Well, this begins with a book tour that, as we described, takes a turn for the worse. The author, Samantha, has published her first novel. She gets drugged, kidnapped by a group of girls called the Bunnies
That's
in the
right.
Master Fine Arts program.
Yeah.
What else happens?
What else? Well, they proceed to tell her how she got them all wrong, because Bunny is really her side of the story about this clique of kind of mean girls who call each other Bunny and conjure hot men out of rabbits in these very violent, ritualistic, magical workshops. Yeah.
I can see why Margaret Atwood loves your books.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They've got such a fantastical element to them. Just to clear up any confusion, what is a bunny? Is it a term of endearment? Because it's not an actual bunny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a term of endearment that I would sometimes hear, and very, very old school, like, hi, Bunny, So I think it's a girl, it's anyone that maybe you care for, but it's also a literal bunny, and it's also a hot guy in this book.
Okay, your books have, is it fair to say it's like a cult following?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, people show up. This bunny is brought to you by a fan, is that right?
Yes, a fan made this for me. It's incredible. Complete with pearls, an axe, blue eyes, because all the bunnies have blue eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like for you to have this kind of love from your readers?
Well, I mean, honestly, Bunny was such a leap, or a hop rather, into the dark for me creatively. I didn't even think I would finish it. It was so scary to go into just new terrain in fiction. So I'm just incredibly moved by it every time. It never ceases to amaze me. I'm just so honored. Yeah.
Here's part of what the charm of your books. At one point, one of the characters, Duchess, says, I'm going to read this, "I'm not a psychopath. I'm a fiction writer."
Yeah.
Which someone needs to put on a coffee mug for you immediately. But what does that say about the headspace that you get into when you're writing these books?
Oh, yeah. No, well, we are psychopaths. Any writer will agree. But no, you do have to kind of immerse yourself. And when you immerse yourself in another world, sometimes it's very, very difficult to kind of parse out what's real, what am I imagining? We all have that to an extent, I think, just being in the world. But when you're a fiction writer and you're inhabiting another world, it gets even trickier. You can really get deluded.
Part of what helps to get you into that headspace is music.
Yes.
Chapel Roan, Joy Division, Fleetwood Mac. How are these the artists that put you in that space?
I guess because they take risks. I mean, for me, like Kate Bush especially, she was like the North Star of this book. Whenever I felt scared, I would just listen to Kate Bush and she would give me permission. They're permission-giving artists,
Oh, I like
who
that.
just say, just embrace your weirdness, go there, take the risk. Yeah.
This book series has TV series, in my mind, written all over it. You can see the characters, you can watch the plot lines in your head, and I understand there's been an option for TV, is that right?
Oh, for film.
For film?
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, it's Bad Robot, very exciting. It's really in development now. There's a script, there's an actor, a director attached. So very, very exciting, Bunny.
I can see the fans showing up already in
dressed up.
costume.
Yeah.
With the bunnies. I hear there also might be a third book in the series, is that right?
There will be a third book. When I was writing this book, a door opened in the story and I just had to follow, which is what happened with Bunny. So I'm really excited to be able to return. I miss it already.
Oh, Mona Awad, that's great to hear. Thank you so much for coming on the show and for bringing the bunny. A reminder, the new novel is called We Love You, Bunny.
Coming up Monday on Your Morning, Halloween books for all ages.
That's it for all of us today on Your Morning Weekend. Don't forget, you can scan the QR codes for the Your Morning newsletter and listen to more great conversations on Your Morning, the podcast.
We have another amazing week coming up. On Monday, a deep dive into why the musical theater industry is really struggling and what that means for Broadway.
Tuesday, we'll have Jillian Harris and her husband Justin in studio to talk about their new children's book. They also just got married, so we'll be sure to get all those details.
Oh, I saw all the pictures on social media. The wedding was gorgeous. She had quite a few dresses. And their 2 kids were there, so out at their farm in Kelowna with a live band. So I can't wait to hear from them.
Oh, speaking of bands, we are also going to chat with the Trues. They are here on Thursday to talk all about their new album.
Oh, and we can't forget about the kitchen. On Wednesday, we are making comfort food with a twist. Thanks for starting your morning with us. We'll see you on Monday.